Well, hello and good evening. It is the last Tuesday in April, and tonight it's machine embroidery. And we are going to do some embroidery on organza. Try to think of different things for the embroidery machine, just to give you sort of a wider scope as possible of what you can do with the machine in the easiest possible way, because as you can understand, it's quite difficult to keep moving to see the screen on the machine and the machine stitching itself. So I'm trying to do it in a very simple way where I can. So let's just have a look here, see if I can find us. Oh, there we are. Now I imagine, yep, we did. So who's here today? There's Liz, hello, and Amanda, and Tony, and oh, thank you, Tony, and Jill and John. Hi there, everybody. Shirley, Jill, Anne, and Sharon is watching, and there's Raina. So welcome everybody this evening. It seems, well, we're back to normality with a 5-day week as opposed to 4 days with a bank holiday. But then we'll go back to it again next week because there's a bank holiday on the Monday. So hello Christine, hello Julie, hello Kathleen, and Leslie, and Linda, and Paula. Yes, so tonight, hello Jane. Do you know, I'm upstairs. Lovely sunny hot day. It really has been. And I am warm. I must say I am very warm. Evening, Marilyn. Oh, it's beautiful over in Northern Ireland as well. I think it did say the whole of the UK and Northern Ireland was going to have the same weather. So fantastic. Oh gosh, this is really slow on here as opposed to seeing and what I'm saying. I was flapping my hands and it was flapping about, oh, at least 10 seconds later. Never mind. Hello, Caroline. I feel like being summery. It is warm now, and it has been warm. I'm quite pleased, and this weather is pleasant. I don't want it to get any hotter. I think it's fine as it is. Okay. Right, so if you talk amongst yourself, otherwise I should say house, oh yes, nothing to do with me. Okay, so what we're doing tonight is embroidery on organza. Oh, Vanessa's in the garden. Yes, well, I've loaded the bird feeders. I thought, oh, make sure the birds, I could see some from the window, and I thought they've got nothing to eat. So that's what I've done. Hello, Judith. What a lovely day indeed. Oh, thank you. And you've nearly finished. Well done. Now, I should go back to that, shouldn't I? The sew along, I loved it. And I think as far as everybody that took part, they've loved it too, which is lovely. I've also had other people join after the event, which is, you know, it must be, well, it is because all of you that finished yours or finished them afterwards have popped them in the group. Other people have seen them and decided that they wanted to do it too. Hello, Jeeta and Jan. Or Jane loves the quilt behind me, the one with the cream borders. Yes, we haven't done that. What do we call it? We could do that. There's a special ruler we need for that, rather than measuring. So I'll see if I could get some. I mean, in the days of TV, I would have done that. I would have got one made up. But it's like tessellating, isn't it? That's what it is. And as you say, Caroline, just the right temperature, but where did April go? I know, it has whizzed by, unbelievably so. Oh, hello, Isabel. And gorgeous weather in north of Scotland too. And hello, Pippa, Christine, Yvonne. Oops, wrong one. Oh, thank you, Gita. I succumbed, and I decided colour was the way. Up there, look. I decided that... I was feeling, well, I want my hair chopped anyway. But yeah, so we've got a little bit of added colour there, but never mind. Thank you, Jeeta. Oh, Sue missed it. I know, Sue, but I'm sure you'll be making one very soon. We missed you too. Hello, Carol. Hello, Sandra. Lovely see. I've got my cards showing again, haven't I? I'll pop it down. So let me just show you. No, before I show you what we've got this week, I've just put a menu up. I was going to do it yesterday, didn't get around to it. But obviously tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, just one different time, we're going to do the monthly mega giveaway. One lucky member of this group will get a fabric bundle and whatever else I have got to give away. So that will be at 6 o'clock on the So Totally Trisha page. Then on Thursday, I'm going to do another end of bulk sale. So I'm going to have lots of individual one-offs at really, really good prices, because I think you enjoyed that before. So that's what I should be doing on Thursday, usual time 6:30. And then on Friday, I thought we would do Seminole, which is a type of patchwork. I have done it once before, but a very, very long time ago. And I've seen a couple of comments, so I know some people won't even have tried it. But it's easy, but it looks good. And it's just an easy way of getting a particular style of patchwork. So that's what we're doing for the rest of the week. So tonight, though, and I am going to turn the camera around so that you can see the machine stitching out, and we'll have a chat while it's doing. So this one I will put, now can you see that what is behind it? That, because you can see through it, but it's not freestanding lace, although you could do it as freestanding lace. So you would just see right through those gaps. But we have got organza in there. Hello. Oh, missed a few there. Elaine, Joanne, Jill, don't know what that is. Oh, Seminole, you'll find out on Friday. And Alison. So this is what I'm going to stitch out tonight. It was from Etsy, and I think it's Lyra Embroidery, L-I-R-A. They've got very good ratings, and well, there's little bits I could cut out there, I think. But it's stitched out beautifully, and it takes about 25 minutes. So, oh, Sue likes it and Patricia likes it, but I had a look to see which ones I like. Now this one it cost £2.40, but you know, not bad. It was just the one design, and I wanted a butterfly, and it was the nicest one that I could see. There were some bundles of 6 or 7, but that was £13 and £14. And I only wanted one, really. I'd have liked a bundle for the same price, but £2.40 is what this cost me. So not bad at all. And I could actually stitch that out onto fabric, no problem. I could actually do it as freestanding lace, which is when we stitch directly onto water-soluble film. And oh, I should have brought a bit of that. It's just reminded me. But that's your freestanding lace. And then when it stitches out onto the water-soluble fabric, it then you pop it in water, and it all washes away, and you'll be able to see through. But this time, I am going to use some of this. This is organza. You can see it's see-through. You may have a chiffon scarf at home. You just might have. You could do it on that. But it is, what would it be? Acrylic, rayon, sheer. It's like the organza ribbon that you can buy, but it is the fabric. And we're going to stitch onto that, which just shows how easily it can be done. Now, normally, what I would say, I enjoy using the best one for me of soluble fabric, or interface stabilizer, is the Solufleece, the Vilene one, which just looks like a fabric. It looks like a stitch and tear, but it's actually water soluble. The film ones I use from time to time, but I don't find they are firm enough, so I have to double it up. But on this occasion, because we're using organza, I'm going to use the film. So this is water-soluble film, and the only reason I'm going to use this is because it's see-through. And I actually, although I've done the organza on this water-soluble film, I haven't put it in water yet. I could do, but because it's transparent, you can't see. That is actually organza on the top, but there's tiny little bits of the film in there, but it is lovely and flexible. Can you see? And you could have it 3-dimensional if you wanted to. Now, I didn't realise the size of this, so I wanted to do it on my 4x4 machine, but it was too big. It's only slightly too big, but because that's my hoop, but for some reason it said it was too big. Shouldn't have been really, but I could perhaps try it again. So I've done it on the 2650, but I thought for those of you with 4x4 hoops, I'd have a look to see what there is. Now on the 330, there are actually inbuilt into the machine these little, there we are, these little butterflies, and they stitch out 2 at a time. Can you see them? And so I've stitched those out on that machine in exactly the same way, but they're dinky and they stitch out side by side, 2 of them. So I rather liked those, and not wishing to leave anybody out, I thought I would show you. Have a look in your design, your embroidery library in your machine and see if you can find some butterflies. I'm sure there will be some there. Do I have the stuff for the behind? The stuff for in the behind. I don't know what you mean, Sharon. Do you mean the water-soluble stabilizer? I only have what I have there. I'll have to have a look, because it's not something I've bought in. That's some of my own stash. Hello, Lynn. And Patricia likes that. Okay. I'll have to have a look for you, Sharon. Okay. Because as I say, usually I would use the one which is white and fabricy stabilizer, but it does wash away. But usually if you're doing freestanding lace, you want something more robust than the film. But because we're using organza on the top of it, and I'm just going to show you first of all how we are going to hoop it. So let's just pop these out of the way, and what we're going to do first of all, now let's put those there, is I'm going to whiz this down. I don't suppose actually I need, there we are, there is my hoop. There is my hoop there, and I have already, here we go, and it's very hard to see, but there is my my water-soluble film. Okay, so I've cut a piece slightly bigger than the hoop, and then I've cut a piece of organza, which is going to fall on the floor. Not what it was meant to do, but I've also cut this slightly larger than the hoop. So with your hoop there, we're going to take out the centre part, just like you would with a hand embroidery hoop, and I'm going to place both. So I've put the water-soluble film on the bottom. That's it, making sure there's excess on all sides. Oh, it would look nice stitched out in variegated thread. I wonder if I've got one to hand. Let me find it. Okay. So then I'm putting the organza on the top, making sure there's some to each side. Then I'm going to take my hoop, place that on top, the inner one, and flatten it down. Now, what I would always say, whatever stabilizes or fabric that you're hooping up, always put it on a flat surface, because you want this to be nice and taut. So with that in place, I'm then screwing up this screw at the end just to tighten it. Don't over tighten, because I have seen where people have broken their frame because they've tightened it too much. Now I can see that that is nice and taut. I can actually feel, let's just pull that way. So if you do, I don't think you should do this, but I can hold that very firm. I've got my thumbs on the hoop and I'm just pulling that a little bit. I don't want to break the thread. Oh, I can see that's not. Right, that's not very taut down there. So I haven't hooped that very well at all. So I'm going to start that again. I can see not that you can, but I can see there is a lump there. So let's just undo our thing there. I can see that the organza has shifted. So there's not much at this end, and that was why. So I'm popping that down again into that inner hoop, and that looks much better already. Okay, I've got that nice and flat, and you want it to be super flat. You don't want it to be any lumps anywhere. So let's just see what I can do. Because it is very slippery, it can easily move, but just give that a little tug at the sides just to make that completely taut. And don't do it to overdo it, because what can happen, you could actually pull it right out of the hoop. So that now is nicely taut within my hoop. Okay, so I'm going to take that to the machine. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off of here now, because we've got our hoop ready. Whoops, and you can see my arm, but I'm going to put it that way round so that you can see the machine now. So I'm going to swivel that, and no, not look that way. I want to look down there and just pull the top bar up. So, oh no, that's why I need it round the other way. There is the hallway. I'm putting it on the wrong way. That was why. Silly, silly me. Pull that up. And we can now see the machine. Okay. So I have my hoop just there. You can perhaps see the organza and the wash away within there. And good evening, Sally and Juliet. Just the small hoop. Yes. Oh, I see. I see. That's right, Sharon. Yes. So the small hoop. Have a look in the designs within your machine, and I'm sure you will be able to see one in there. My machine is a 330, and it's got those in there as well. So, having hooped it up, what I need to do now is just place this in the slot, like so, and push the lever down so it fits into that rail, and then you just pull that lever down, and that is now in place. Now, I had got my, where is this? They're all in different places. Right, so I have got on the screen, as you can see here, the butterfly is ready in place and ready to sew. So I need to press my, okay, automatically lower the foot. I'm waiting for the button that is red to go green. So I need to press that. My button's gone green. So I'm now going to press the green button there, and off it will go. Now, hopefully, check and rethread. Well, that is typical, isn't it? Okay. So what we do now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is where you see this little button here. This is where if something goes wrong, we can either take the stitches back or forwards. Now, I want to take it back. So I'll take it back 10, and it's basically, let's see, it's taking it back to the beginning. So we then press OK. And what I'm going to do is, I think it's cut my thread anyway. That's it. Oh, it's going to stitch over that again. So, as I said, okay, I now want this red button to turn green. So I'm just going to press OK and press again. And I'm just going to, well, let's hope it works this time. So here we go. Nope. Right, I did. Okay, I did. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this back to the beginning. Right, that's back at the beginning. I'm going to take my frame off, and I feel what's happened. Just take those threads out. I put a new bobbin in, or I put a bobbin in, and I don't think it likes it. So let's just have a look. Excuse me. Right, let's just take that bobbin out. I've got a pre-wound bobbin, and let's just pop that back in and bring it around and rethread. Okay, and let's just have a look. So my thread is pulling through really nicely, so that is not a problem. And so now, having done that, this is where I actually very rarely have anything go wrong. But tonight it's decided, okay, we're going to try this out. Okay, so let's just slot that in, pull the lever down. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back, and it's situated down at this bottom end, which is good. So I'm going to leave it. No, let's just move it down. It won't go any further down. It'll go up a little bit. This is where I can move the embroidery. Can you see? But we'll move it down to the end. Let's move it across just a bit. Okay, embroidery. So now I have my red button again. I'm going to say lower the foot and go. And I'm actually going to hold my thread a minute. That's it. Let's see if we work now. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not having much fun here, am I? Right. Okay. Let's just go back to the beginning. Okay. I'm going to take this off. I'm actually going to, let's see, have I got another bobbin up here? I don't think I have. No. Right, let's take that out. Oh, goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious. Let me put this one in instead. So I've got it going in the right way. And let's just slot that in and come around and around. There we are. It's probably going to go wrong right in the middle of it, I know. Right. Let's go one more time. If not, I'll go over to the other machine and we'll do the small butterfly. Where's my little, I don't need that. Okay. So, there we go. So let's see, are we going to behave this time? So, my presser foot, okay, and green light's on. No, it's still not liking. Okay. I don't know what is going on. So I need to go and get another. I'm going to rethread the top as well. Now, what you should always do with rethreading is pull your thread through from the top, and then, it may be I didn't thread the top correctly. So I'm going in the top, around there, around and down. Do we say third time lucky? And in we go, and around there, and up, and thread the needle, and then, let's see. I mean, that feels all right. And we can just pull that through. Right, last time. Okay, slot it in. Don't you just love it when things don't go to plan? Okay. Fingers crossed. Oh, I bet I wasn't threaded correctly on the top. So always go through the motions. There we are. Hello, Jane. Should there be a stopper? Yes, you can put a stopper on, but I find that the stopper can sometimes be a hindrance. So if it works for you having the stopper on, absolutely fine. But when I have a new reel on, it comes off very slowly anyway, and I use the same thread all the time. So I'm just going to do that in a little bit closer. So I know it works for me, and it wasn't, there we are, it wasn't a cap issue, but yes, if you're used to doing that, absolutely fine. I wouldn't walk away from it without a cap on there, because as you can see, that is coming off fairly well. There's not large bits coming off. I have got a cap somewhere which I could. So I've got a cap on now, and that will be absolutely fine. Yes, Jane, that's exactly what I did. I thought it was a bobbin issue, but obviously it wasn't. It did say to check the upper and bobbin thread, didn't it? So that is what it said, yes. So well done all of you that spotted that. Probably I would, but because I changed the bobbin earlier, I thought, oh, it's bound to be a bobbin thing. So if it says check the top thread and the bottom thread, bobbin thread, absolutely do that. But you can see how nicely that is stitching out. And yes, it looks quite close on what you're seeing there. So it actually does, let's see if I can get that coming in there. It actually does those scalloped edges first of all, and you can also see that possibly if this were any other fabric as opposed to organza, you would probably say, that's it, let's put that there, you would probably say, oh, it's puckering. So you can see the organza is shifting, well, it's not shifting, but it is puckering because of the stitching, but it doesn't actually show once it's finished. So there you can see the part that it's doing. And as I say, I think this would still look really nice if you did it as freestanding lace. What does Jack say? Have a problem threading your top thread at the weekend? Also, machines are a plan to try. I know. Don't they just? I must say, when I thread it, I don't know whether you can see when I was threading it, but I actually hold on to the reel itself so that only a little bit, so it comes off slowly, and that I can feel it taut as I run it through the thread path. And that way I obviously didn't do it properly when I set it up earlier. And obviously you can't really do a test run to make sure it's okay, but it wasn't obviously in the tension disc. Oh, you found the nets on the thread bobbins were causing issues. Yes. Now, I only use the thread nets when I'm using metallic thread. because the metallic thread actually spools off of the thread. I mean, even if you sit it on the table, you'll find it just all springs into coils of the metallic thread. So when you're using metallic thread, it is an absolute must to use a spool net. The stopper itself is not enough. You will need something over it. If you haven't got a spool net, but you have got an old pair of tights, you could always use a little bit of that. Sometimes pop socks, I haven't worn pop socks for years, but I know my mum has them. And when they are not, unused, brand new ones, if you just cut a circle of it to go over your thread, that works just as well as, say, a thread net. Oh no, I don't like to get stressed, Caroline. It's just when you want it to work and you think, why is this not working? What is wrong? But yes, go through the motions, do what it says, and absolutely fine. Oh, there's Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. Yes, we're only basically watching a stitch out, which it says it will be probably about 25 minutes, which is not too bad actually, but it's very therapeutic. I mean, we're probably almost coming up to halfway now. So, there we are, yes. So it won't be too long until it's finished. And as I say, the one that I'd already done, I haven't soaked it in water yet, but it won't make as much difference as if it were freestanding lace because the organza is there. So what would you do with these? I think everybody likes a butterfly, and I think you could make a nice, you could hang it, you could make a hanging mobile, or, you know, in a children's bedroom. I think they'd be lovely hanging on thin, even just thread, so it looks as though they are in the air. The thread I'm using is a marathon thread. I have got loads of marathon from when I got earlier, but the ones I have, so that's the thread I have. It's a rayon. It is, and I always, this is one thing that I do have a discussion now and again. I always put my reel of thread so that the large end is towards the back, and my thread then comes off from here. Okay, so it's coming, this is the end at the right hand side of my spool holder, and my thread comes off there. Oh, don't like it when it makes funny noises. Okay, so I have seen people pop it that way round, but that, to my mind, is going against the grain. And I have listened to, there's a chap, an American, or Australian, Orchidea, and he is very, very good. He knows his machines, and he was talking about the way that the thread should come off your spool. So you should always have the largest end at the right hand side, closest to the big cap, and that's how you pop it onto the spool, and your thread comes off in that direction. It comes off here to the left. So it is marathon, I think, is a rayon thread. All the same, it's not cotton. Saying that, I've done freestanding lace with moon thread actually. I did some Christmas ornaments many years ago, and I used moon thread in the top, and then I just used the standard bobbin fill thread to the bottom, the finer thread, specifically for embroidery machines, but white moon thread, and they came out beautifully. So that was purely a polyester. Moon thread has a slight sheen, as opposed to being really matte, but I have even done some machine embroidery with Orifil, because if you want to use your embroidery machine for quilting, you can get some quilting blocks that you can do on your embroidery machine. Then obviously the thread you use for your quilt I would also use for the quilting. You can, but I would probably not use rayon thread for quilting. I know some people do, not a problem, but I tend to use the same thread that I've used throughout. So I would use Organza if I were quilting, just like I would if I were free motion quilting or walking foot quilting. I would still use it. Oh no, the machine screen, Juliet, does look very dense. You can hardly see that at all. Now, the bigger the machine, if you were to have a, let's see, the Stellaire, you know, the next stage up from these machines. So the Stellaire, the XP1, the XE1, the dream machine of the past, and the one that is the top of the range now is the Avenir, which has a huge frame, amongst others. Now their screens are much bigger than this screen here. So it would show you the whole design on those. So the smaller the screen, the less you're going to see of the intricacy of the actual design itself. But yes, I saw what it was like from a picture, and then obviously stitching it out you can see. You wouldn't, from seeing a picture of what's on the screen of an embroidery machine, I don't think you'd buy that because you don't know what you're getting. Tony says she's wanted to throw your machine out the window recently. That's making freestanding lace butterflies. Oh, now what I would say, if you're doing freestanding lace and you're using this, if you're using film, this one is quite a flimsy one anyway. It is a Madeira, it's a sulky one, so it is a good brand, but it's quite fine. And if I were doing freestanding lace, I would have 2 layers of it at least. I may even have 3 layers, because I think that's where the problem will be. If it is very, very dense and you've got 1 layer, so the design we're doing now, I wouldn't do that as freestanding lace on this 1 layer. I know it would tear it, and once your water-soluble film has broken because of the amount of stitching, you can't go back. You really can't. So yeah, always use 2 or 3 layers of it so that you have a good stability underneath. Ah, oh yeah, nice button presents attached to a bow. Oh, we're doing the second side now. Just hope my embroidery thread doesn't run out, but there we go. Oh, so Jane, the design is from Lyra Embroidery on Etsy. I will put a link when we've finished this. I'll put a link up on the group so that you can have a look. Yeah, I missed your comment there earlier. Oh yeah, wouldn't it look lovely if you on a present, so you wrapped it all up and perhaps a little bit of organza ribbon, and then just attach the butterfly on the top. Oh my goodness, that would look wonderful. Yes, indeed. So, as we're stitching away, I must admit, when I stitched that first one, I did walk away from it. But more often than not, I don't. But I was just going to have a look in my little book, my brother book here, just to show you. Oh, here we are. So if we just put that under here, can you see this one? I don't know if any of you have got the 330, but here are the little machine embroidery butterflies that I have stitched out. Sorry, I'm moving that because I'm leaning. So they come side by side and, whoops, okay, fall on the floor. So there is your little butterfly that I stitched out from that design there. So that is inbuilt, although it probably is freestanding lace design. You can do it on organza, or you could stitch it onto fabric, no problem at all. Remember we did this one? We did this one as a freestanding lace last year at some point. So there are plenty of designs for the smaller hoops within the embroidery library itself, within the machine. Okay, so that is stitching away. We'll just see if we can get to the end. Now, I've said to you, I think many times before, that I am, oh hello Sue, I am in some other embroidery, machine embroidery groups, and the number of times people have these issues that it stops stitching like it did at the beginning, and they say, I've tried everything, I've altered the tension, so I will say it once again, and as soon as I see that, I think to myself, oh my goodness. So from me, do not, if your machine is not embroidering as it should, it will be something else. Like it was with me, my top thread was not threaded correctly. And as soon as I did that, obviously I checked the bobbin a couple of times, purely because that's what I changed earlier and thought that's what it must be. When I read what it said on the screen, checked the upper thread too, that's when I corrected it, and absolutely fine. So if anything ever goes wrong, tension is the last thing ever that you need to touch, because believe you me, with tension you don't know when you've got it back to exactly how it was. Oh, that's lovely. So Juliet says, does it use a lot of thread? Now these spools of thread here have got, oh, what does it usually say? I think there is 5,000 meters on there. I don't think I have ever used a whole spool, and I have embroidered many things over time. I've got quite a few colours, but they last so long because it is very fine. It's either 60 or 80 weight. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can see. I just put it under the. Let me pop it down here. Can you see how fine that is? I haven't got anything to compare it with, but it is very fine. Oh, now my thread's broken. Okay. Oh, okay. So let us take my cap off. And, oh, my thread's gone up there. So I shall have to pull it back through. Now, had that, I see that's sheared it a little bit. Oh, that's not liking that. Oh, I can see. Let's see if I can pull this down. I'm just sticking a pin in here because I can see what it's done is there. It hasn't liked that thread at all. Now, possibly I could do with changing my needle. So let's just have a look. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? So I'm going to, it says again, check and rethread upper thread. So let's pop that on there. Let's put our disc, probably best to put it on that way actually. Right. So I'm holding the thread as it comes off the spool and putting it around. There we go, around there. So I'm holding on to it so it's still taut. And then down there, up we go, around into the hook. And there. Oh, now I can see what that's doing. It could have been that it twisted. This is why I don't always have my spool cap on, because it's twisted around there. So I'm just going to take that off for the moment. And I'm just going to hold that, you see, because that's coming through fine now. That's behind there. I'm going to rethread. Okay. And I am actually going to tuck my thread. You don't have to. But I'm going to tuck it through to the back. Okay. Tuck it through to the back. and I'm going to trim it off to about 3 or 4 inches. So I've done that. So now I do need to go to this bit here. So I'm going to go back 10. I'm going to go back 20 because I think it carried on stitching a little bit. So I've gone back 30 stitches. Okay. So now I'm going to put that down. Okay. And then I'm going to press that again. And let's see if we can go. Please be kind. Oh, that's it. So I got it back to the right space. And we're stitching again. So I don't think I was watching that very well at all. And what happened was, because I've got the spool cap on, it twiddled around in between. So let's watch that a little bit more carefully. Okay, so Jane's buying the design tonight. She's doing a table for a family. Oh, that will be lovely. And they could go on the photo frames. Fantastic, that would be. Oh, and Tony's issue, the needle kept breaking. Oh my goodness. No, never touch the tension. Well done. I would say that the thread was perhaps getting caught, like mine did then. And if the thread doesn't break, it will then break the needle because it will be pulling it so much. So, yeah, that is stitching very nicely now. I hope I did go back far enough. I'm just seeing that little bit there. I think that comes afterwards. So yes, hopefully it is doing what it should do, and I'll keep an eye on the thread. But I'm sure, because as soon as I put the thread cap back on, it made its way around there. So that will usually be the reason for your thread breaking. Because it's got caught at the top here and it just pulls and pulls. So as it was tight and my needle was still going up and down, it was shearing the thread until eventually it did break. And fortunately, and I could feel pulling it backward, well, I could see it through the path of where the thread goes. Oh, I see, my bobbin thread's almost empty. Okay. So what I need to do, okay, I've got to change my embroidery thread. Oh, well, that's hardly any good, is it? So that's moved my embroidery machine out of the way, but I'm going to have to take it off. So this is when I need some more thread. So I'm just going to pull that out of the way. I'm going to take this one out. Yeah, there's only a little bit left on there. And I didn't put a full bobbin in. I'm going to put my next bobbin in, which is also a part one, but that's it. Right. Feel that. Oh, it's all happening tonight, isn't it? Okay, so let's just push that back in. So I'm following what it says on the machine. Okay, to move the embroidery carriage to its original position, remove the embroidery frame. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's going to move it back. And then I think I'm going to put my hoop back in. Whoops, let's just pop that under there. And what that should do now is carry on. Okay. Okay, green light. So that is going to carry on. So, okay. It is showing us a few little things tonight. So what happens if your thread breaks? What happens if your bobbin runs out? Now, as I say, the screen told me there was an icon to press, which then moved the carriage out of the way. It told me to take my hoop off the machine, which I duly did. and it's all carried on from where we ended, or when the bobbin thread was running out. So this is where, when people say they change the bobbin, that things never go back in the right place. Now, I didn't bump the machine at all. Now, this is, so you need to be a little bit gentle. When I took the frame off, I made sure I took that off smoothly, because I wanted everything to line up, just as if I hadn't had to change the bobbin thread. Okay, Kathleen. They say about reducing the speed. Why is that? That will be because of the thread you're using, or the density of the design. So yes, so that is one of the things I'd said earlier about when you use metallic thread. One of the things, most definitely use a thread net on it, on the spool. But the other thing is to slow the machine down. So yes, slow the machine down, because if you imagine the needle is going up and down all the time. I wouldn't even change to an embroidery needle, a metallic thread needle. I would still use, and always have done, the same 7511 embroidery machine needle. But I would slow the speed down so that there's not as much friction when the needle and the thread is passing up and down through the fabric all the time. Now what I'm going to do while that's out of the way, now you shouldn't really do this, but I'm just trimming that thread. So if you are going to do that, I should have stopped the machine. So here is, don't do as I do. But if your machine, if the thread that you want to trim is well out of the way of the needle, I do that. But as I say, what you should do is stop the machine, cut your thread, and then go back again. But I didn't want it to get stitched in with, because when you get bits of thread stitched in, it's hard to take them back out again. Yeah, so that's you. When you're sewing, it either goes right first time or it's a nightmare. Well, do you know, most of the time, I mean, all the other ones, I don't think we've had an issue at all. Had I put a full bobbin in, I wouldn't even have had to change it. But that was quite good, because it showed you what to do should your bobbin run out. I mean, in ordinary machine sewing, we often have the bobbin run out, don't we? And we know exactly what to do, straightforward. But with a machine embroidery design, obviously, you want it to be continuous. You don't want a gap to appear or where you haven't stitched properly because the bobbin ran out. So, yeah, all good. Isabel said it lets us see the things that can occur with embroidery machine. Yeah. Well, you have to be patient, don't you? I mean, I don't know. If it had gone on any longer, I'd have thought, what on earth is going on? Well, I did think that, but it shows it can all be corrected. Yeah, absolutely, Patricia. And you can see then my thought, my train of thought. If something's gone wrong, what shall we look at? And obviously I could have sorted it first time had I thought the spool of thread, the upper thread, I needed to change. But I'm glad that some of you thought that before I did. So it just shows you've also got patience to sort out things that go wrong. Tilly the embroidery machine is Tony's machine. Yes, yeah. Sometimes they can be temperamental. This wasn't being temperamental. This was just telling me I haven't done something right. And that, in fact, is usually the way. I mean, a lot of people will say their standard sewing machines don't like particular threads. Well, do you know what? I've never had that. It's strange, but if There are things with certain threads, they might need to have a longer stitch length, or you might need to stitch a bit slower. So to be doing exactly the same way with every thread, there may be a difference with some, but I can sew just as well with Orifil as with moon thread. Difference in price, difference in content, obviously Orifil being cotton and moon thread being polyester, but none of my machines dislike either of those. Gutermann thread stitch perfectly okay as well. So I don't know, sometimes I would like to sit with somebody who's having a problem and we can, you know, sort it out together and see what, you know, the base of where the problem is. But I think sometimes it's good if you find a thread that suits you and your machines, stick with. It's in actual fact, what I might do tomorrow evening, I've got some Gutermann rayon threads which are lovely. I use some of those, and we'll see if we can have those. Yeah, I'll see if we'll have those in the sale as well. Oh, are we finished? Oh, no, not quite. A little bit more to do. Oh, no, it's finished. Oh, that was good. 3 minutes ago. Well done. What am I using in the hoop stitching onto? So I will take it off now so that you can see. And let's just push that in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take this off the hoop like so. And I am going to, I'll just press OK there. And right. So let's just take that back just a little bit. So I'm going to unscrew the bottom of the hoop here and take out my butterfly. And what I can do with this, because it is fairly dense, so this is the water-soluble film, and it has basically, I can sort of tear this quite easily all the way round. I'm not quite there, that's not so easy. So these bits are quite easy, where there's a definite design around the edge. Okay, like that. And then just pull those little bit, because it is only like a film. So I have done that, and then there's a little bit in there. So you could pull but you don't have to pull these bits out because it will wash away. So let's get rid of those little bits of thread. That was where I stopped and started. And then what I'm going to do first of all, I'm just going to roughly trim around the organza, because there will be some other task that I can do with the rest of that. There we go. And then you can just go around this fairly close. Now with organza, it does cut very, very easily. And if you just put the edge into around the edge of the embroidery, like so, and just let it run into the blades of the scissors, it is very easy to actually, I might do it with those sharper little scissors that I have down there. Let's just pop that there. So I've got these with a curved end. So let's just go around. Oh, yes. So it actually just, it runs away with you. So let's just go around here into there. And I'm just doing it very, very gently. Just run that in. A little bit like, yeah, if you're doing decoupage around paper design, where you're cutting them out. But it just, that's it. Actually, the bigger scissors were a little bit better as well. I'll just do it to there so that you can see, and then just clip down in between those. Now where the antennae are, obviously having the organza holds those nicely together. And it's very easy not to cut those little bits there, but you can just trim those little bits away. But you can see from one side how pretty it looks. Now, yes, there is the water soluble there, but because it's transparent, you can't see it. And there will be organza just here, so it won't be a lot of holes. I just think this is so lovely. Just here. Unfortunately, everything, even though we stopped and started a little bit, it all works there. There's a little bit of thread there. So, let's just have a look. Water soluble, and butterflies look nice, little girls. Oh, wouldn't they just? On the shoulder straps. Yes. Yes, it would look absolutely lovely. And I mean, it would be quite easy as well to just gently or loosely hand stitch it down. So it's a little bit three-dimensional, but you could use the same thread that you've embroidered it in and just catch through to the other side to hold it down, rather than trying to machine sew all over it so that you could see it. But yes, so there is our, so I've done that in a lavender colour. And then, of course, we've got the cerise one as well, which is really quite bold. So, oh, thank you, Judith, and thank you, everybody. So what I'm going to do, I'll go downstairs and I will put the link to that particular embroidery design. As I say, I'm sure it was on offer with about 20% off or 25%. So it is Lyra, L-I-R-A embroidery. She's got loads of lovely designs. So I suppose fill your boots if you would like to. Pop it on a headband. Yes, wouldn't that look lovely too? Lots of ideas. So there is your embroidering on organza, which perhaps we've done embroidering on faux leather, haven't we? I'll have to see what we can do next time. Perhaps we will do it. Probably won't be until July or August, perhaps. I can't remember now. But I might see if we can do an in the hoop pouch or something like that where there's a zip. Now, I will admit to you now, I've only done the odd one because it scares me a little to think that the embroidery machine is just going to stitch with its own mind. It has a mind of its own, and you're going to pop a zip down there. Why is it not going to stitch over it? But we'll have a little play so that I can show you just how straightforward it is. So thank you so much for joining me. I won't turn the camera back because it's a little bit of a pain doing that, but I'll leave that with you there so that you know exactly what you've been watching this evening. And I hopefully, oh yes, I will, see you all tomorrow, 6 o'clock on the So Totally Trisha page. It's a Wednesday for the monthly mega giveaway. So take care of yourselves. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.